Hello, guys. Welcome to Psychology of Freedom. Another topic for today, which is all about emotional bypassing. So, we're going to talk about emotions. So, ano nga ba itong emotional bypassing? Lahat tayo ginagawa natin to. Walang exempted. Ito yung time na ayaw nating i-feel yung emotions natin. Kasi nga naman, uncomfortable minsan, di ba? Halimbawa, yung negative emotions such as anger, sadness, frustrations, di natin inaalaw yung sarili natin to feel these uncomfortable emotions. So, anong ginagawa natin? Sinusuppress natin. That's why it's called bypassing. Sinusuppress natin. Parang we want to skip those kinds of emotion. So, paano natin sinusuppress? Minsan by drinking alcohol, di ba? Minsan by binging sa Netflix. Minsan by playing video games or being addicted to anything, shopping, eating, 'di ba? Those are the ways in which we distract ourselves from our own emotion. Kasi nga we're afraid to encounter our own emotion kasi it's painful and it's uncomfortable, 'di ba? Pero what happens when we do this? Paradoxically, it creates more emotional instability within us. Kasi yung mga emotions na yon, binypass lang natin eh. Kumbaga, andun pa rin siya. You distracted yourself lang with something, pero andun pa rin siya. And once na matrigger ka, yung mga unprocessed emotions na yon, it will come out uncontrollably. Uh, Sabi nga, nakalimutan ko na kung sino nagsabi nun, pero even nga pag nagpapakulo ka ng water, di ba, parang kailangan there is a hole for the steam to come out. If not, pwede siyang, ano ba, pwede siyang pumutok or something. So, ganun. So, paano ba lumalabas yung mga suppressed emotions natin? It can come out as anger. Halimbawa, na-late lang yung partner mo or nasabihan ka lang na mali ka or inutusan ka. Kumbaga, maliit na bagay lang siya. Pero, you reacted in a big way. May mga ganong moments tayo, di ba, na parang nakipagtalo tayo sa kaibigan natin or sa partner natin, and then looking back, marirealize natin, ay, ang liit, parang walang kwenta pala yung pinag-awayan kasi parang ang liit lang pala nung naging cause ng pagtatalo. Nagkakaroon tayo ng blind emotional reaction. So, literal, from the word itself, na-blind tayo, parang na-block yung vision mo for a certain period of time. Hindi mo nakita yung reality of the situation na maliit lang pala talaga yung bagay na pinag-aawayan nyo. And then, ayun, parang nag-react ka as if end of the world na. So, ganyan siya pwedeng mag-manifest, yung mga suppressed emotions. It can also manifest as depression or rage, 'di ba? Kasi nga um we haven't given ourselves space to process the emotions. Hindi natin siya na-articulate kumbaga. So, bakit nga ba sinusuppress natin yung uncomfortable feelings or emotions natin? Kasi parang naging automatic na siya sa atin, 'di ba? Hindi tayo aware na ganito pala yung ginagawa natin. So again, nag-root siya sa childhood natin. Everything about us and how we behave in adulthood, how we react in adulthood, nag-ugat yan sa childhood natin. So, look at your childhood. Meron ka bang experience wherein you have shown your emotions or you have expressed your emotions, like for example, anger, pero yung mga tao around you are not emotionally intelligent to allow or to hold space for that feeling? 'Di ba? Nakaramdam ka ba na, for example, shiname ka because you're expressing how you feel? So I'll give you more relatable, more concrete example na I'm sure you have heard at some point. So, one example would be, bakit ka umiiyak? Bakla ka ba? So that's common. That's common for males especially. That's why males are more disconnected from their emotions than the females. Hindi sila ganun ka-in touch, hindi sila ganun ka-sensitive kasi because of this conditioning na parang crying or expressing loneliness or expressing sadness, they see it as a weakness, when in fact it's a natural human experience. So another example would be, bakit ka malungkot? Tara, manood tayo ng sine. So we have this compulsion na we have to do something para mawala yung emotion na yon. That's also emotional bypassing. Like, we have to fix it immediately. 'Di ba? We have that attitude. We can't just let it be and hold space for other people. So, ganyan. Last example would be, bakit ka disappointed? Buti nga ganyan lang nangyari sa'yo, ako nga ganito, ganito, ganyan. So, nagkakaroon pa ng competition, 'di ba? If you're the person na sinabihan ng ganyan, parang you are not allowed to feel what you are feeling, 'di ba? Gano'n yung message na nabibigay sa'yo. So, gano'n nga, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi tayo naturuan how to hold space for other people and how to hold space for ourselves when we are feeling certain negative emotions, 'di ba? Akala kasi natin na once na nakaramdam tayo ng bad emotions, magse-stay na 'yon unless we do something. No, emotions are fleeting, it comes and go, parang parang ang weather, 'di ba? Sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it snows, sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's windy. So sabi ko nga, it's a natural human experience. And if we don't process and hold space for these negative emotions, quite ironically, it will persist. So ano pa yung nakaka-prevent sa atin from processing our emotions? We have this belief na halimbawa pagka galit yung tao, feeling natin magiging violent na siya, mananapak na siya or maninigaw na siya, or parang gano'n nagpe-predict tayo ng negative consequences of feeling the emotion of anger. So hindi. It's it's not like that. There is a difference between just feeling the emotion and reacting to the emotion. So, feeling the emotion is just feeling it, ramdamin mo lang, accept and embrace that, yes, uh, I am angry right now, galit ako ngayon. So, you just allow yourself to feel. You don't do anything. Hindi siya automatic na pagka finil mo yung emotion mo, it will lead to bad consequences like violence and escalation of arguments. Hindi. Emotional reaction, on the other hand, is what you do with the emotion. Kaya nga react, 'di ba? Merong word na act. So you are doing something na with your emotions, like pagla-lash out dun sa taong nakasakit sa'yo, wanting to hurt them back, wanting to hit them. That is emotional reactivity. That is different from just feeling, or um and processing your emotions. Also, I just want to emphasize yung importance ng parent-child relationship, 'di ba? Kasi sa childhood natin, napo-program yung brain natin, 'di ba? Kumbaga, doon nabubuo yung operating system ng psychology natin. So, that's why childhood is really important. So, saan ba natin unang natutunan kung paano mag-emotional bypass o paano mag-disconnect sa sarili nating emotions? In our childhood, from our parents. Bakit? Kasi they do not know how to hold space for their own emotions. Kasi nga, hindi rin sila nabigyan ng safe space ng parents din nila for emotional expression, for safe emotional expression. So, quite naturally, hindi rin nila yon mabibigay sa mga anak nila or sa atin. You see how programming happens. Since ganun yung na-absorb nila from their parents, that's what they will give, or that's what they will do to their children. And they are unconscious of this kind of phenomenon. So, yung mga parents na who have sour relationship sa mga anak nila, it's because they do not know how to connect with their children on an emotional level. Eh, hindi kasi familiar sa kanila yun eh. Weird yun sa kanila na magbibigay ka ng space for emotions, di ba? Who has heard of that, 'di ba? Mismong mga parents natin, they have a lot of unprocessed emotions from their childhood, from from long time ago, which comes out as yun nga, uncontrollable anger, rage, emotional dumping, 'di ba? So, I'm not saying na our parents are bad people. I'm just saying na hindi sila aware sa psychology, how the mind works, and yung consequences of what they are doing to children. And it's not their fault kasi ganun lang din yung nakasanayan nila eh, 'di ba? So what do we do? So yung childhood natin, andyan na yan, that's out of our control. What we can only do is break away from that cycle, learn emotional intelligence, learn psychology, 'di ba? If hindi ka nabigyan ng safe space for processing your emotions when you were a child, give it to yourself. Give it to yourself now. So, halimbawa, pag nag-fail ka sa exam, di nangyari yung gusto mo, you are frustrated with something, allow mo yung sarili mo to feel things. Give yourself um, that space for processing your emotion. Diba? Give yourself space for that emotional downfall. That's how you process and grow, diba? You go through the process. You don't skip, you don't bypass. Kasi it's an inevitable part of your life, eh. And the best emotional growth that you experience is when you allow yourself to process what's going on inside of you. So ayan. So three things we learned today: emotional bypassing, where you distract yourselves. We distract ourselves from our emotions. We want to avoid them, escape from them, and then we have this emotional reactivity, unhealthy way of expressing. Hindi siya expressing eh. Uh, Unhealthy way of reacting to your emotions, which is shouting, lashing out, wanting to hit the other person, becoming violent. And in between that, there is space. That's where we have to train ourselves for us to feel, to process, to give literacy around what is going on inside of us, because only when we process and feel our emotions, that's the only time na we can release eh. We can be released from that emotion. Doon lang tayo mas nagkakaroon ng emotional stability once we process our emotions. So, ayun lang. I hope you learned something new today. If you have questions, mag-comment lang kayo or reach out to my Facebook page. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and see you sa next video.